Seems like just yesterday that I was sitting in my backyard enjoying the greening grass and watching my perennials pop up out of the ground. However, that was nearly 7 months ago. And now those perennials are cut off and all trimmed back for the winter. The vegetable garden's come and gone. Flower pots have been emptied and stored in the shed until next year. My question is, where has this year gone? God set the cycle of seasons into motion at the dawn of creation. And they're a great way for us to mark time and plan vacations and other things that are kind of contingent on weather and seasons. They're also a way for us to appreciate the intricacy and planning that went into this world that God has spoken into being. The Midwest has always been my home, and I love the changing of the seasons and the variable nature of each one. Each season has its unique qualities, offering very different kinds of weather and conditions and beauty and wonder. I love the promise of spring and how green it can seem to get just overnight with some spring rains. But when there's a whole week of that rain and nothing but gray skies, I'm more than ready to move on into summer. Because then there's so much more sunshine, you can get out and garden, work your hands in the warm soil. I love to plant flowers and vegetables, and doing all the things outside like that just give me so much more joy. And I just enjoy being in God's creation and connecting to Him as I work outside. There again, when we have a streak of 90+ degree days and it seems like 1,000% humidity, I'm more than ready to turn my face towards fall. Now, fall in most years is a time of brilliant beauty with the oranges and reds and yellows of all the trees and shrubbery in our area. With the massive loss of our wooded landscape because of the derecho in August, our fall colors have been a lot harder to find. But if you look, you can still spot a bright orange or a bright yellow or red tree that's just standing out amongst the rest. Then once the leaves are gone and the temperatures start to really plummet, then it's time to turn towards winter. Now, you may not agree, and I think probably most don't, but I find a great deal of beauty in winter with the softly falling snow and a bright moon shining on that fresh snowfall. It just is gorgeous to me. And there's a quiet and a peacefulness while everything lies dormant under the snow, which helps to restore my soul and bring rest. I know the cold temps can be brutal, and shoveling the driveway for the umpteenth time can be a chore. But there's a stillness with winter that we don't find in other seasons. Maybe it's because as mammals, we instinctively hibernate and look for that place to get warm and snuggle up and cause ourselves to slow down. Above all those things, the seasons for me are a reminder that our great God has created everything that we know and see with the touch of His hand and the sound of His voice. And He did so with us in mind. He created our wonderful world so that we would have a beautiful place to dwell with Him and serve Him. There's an intricacy and perfection in all of God's creation that is a marvel to behold, and each season in its own peculiarity and its own variation gives us the opportunity to look for His hand in everything that our eyes can see and our minds can explore. Psalm 8 declares, "I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place. What is mankind that you are mindful of them? Human beings that you care for them." Every bit of creation is the work of our mighty God, and the seasons with all their splendor and beauty are but one part. Enjoy and be thankful for all that God has given you. Amen.